what is one's purpose in life? And how does one find it? Well, I think that it is through a concept known as lifelong learning that you can find your passion. Now, at first, it seems like a pretty simple term, right? Lifelong learning. Learning that is lifelong, right? But the thing that I wanted to introduce to you guys today is more than just learning that is lifelong. For many of us, our learning journey was predetermined from the start. Go to school, get good grades, achieve a diploma. The end, as we're told. But is that really the end of our learning journey? Like the moment we walk out of our colleges with our graduation gowns and caps, that's the moment we stop learning? No, I refuse to accept this conclusion. See, today I wanted to give everyone a little bit of food for thought. And that is, I want everyone to ask themselves, when was the last time you learned something just for the sake of learning it? Was it recent? Or was it a long time ago? Seriously, when was the last time you learned something truly because you wanted to learn that thing, or you thought it would be useful to you, and not for the sake of school or a test? Because I bet a lot of us can relate to the feeling of being forced to memorize things for school. For example, formulas for math or science, the dates of historical events for history, or even how to write a proper thesis in English. And maybe you enjoyed learning some of those things. But I doubt all of us would have done all those things willingly. And this sort of forced learning, it brews this sort of negative disassociation with learning. But what I want you to do today is I want you to disassociate yourself from those negative feelings and to truly pursue lifelong learning. And, okay, some of you may be having some questions such as, why? What's the point of pursuing lifelong learning? Or even, what is lifelong learning even? And these are some good questions. And I'll answer them and I'll go through them one by one. First of all, what is lifelong learning? And I'll tell you. To me, lifelong learning is freedom. The freedom to learn anything you want to fulfill your wants or needs without the shackles of expectations of school or others. The freedom to learn for the rest of your life, not for anyone else but yourself. That's what lifelong learning is. And that's what lifelong learning is to me. Okay, second of all, why? What's the point of lifelong learning? And that's a good question. We should ask why we should keep learning for the rest of our lives. And I'll tell you. And the reason I think a lot of you will agree with, and that is, the point of lifelong learning is to achieve something known as self-actualization. And that might bring up more questions like, what is self-actualization? And I'll tell you, self-actualization is a combination of two things: happiness and fulfillment. And lifelong learning is the key to unlocking these two, which will then help you find your purpose. Because the more you learn, the more you pursue lifelong learning, the more you will find things that make you happy and fulfilled. Because to lifelong learn is to learn about yourself and what makes you self-actualized, and which will help you find your purpose. Okay, for example, me. In my free time, I found that I love learning languages. And I'm learning Japanese right now because I love anime, I love manga. And I've had the opportunity to speak with some Japanese people in the past, and whenever I tell them that I'm learning Japanese and I try to speak with them with even just a little bit of the Japanese I know, their face, it always lights up with this joy and awe at the fact that I'm trying to learn and understand their culture and language. And seeing their faces, it makes me so happy and fulfilled at my own learning. And now, every time I learn Japanese, whether it be scrolling through my Japanese flashcards, learning new grammar points, or watching anime and recognizing a word that I just learned, like, I recognize that word. I don't know any other word, but I recognize that word that I learned. And this feeling I get from learning Japanese and this fulfillment, anyone, all of you can feel it. You just have to pursue lifelong learning. We just have to keep learning. The more we keep learning, the better we understand ourselves. And me, I'm still learning as well. I'm still constantly learning new things about myself every day. And while learning Japanese may be fulfilling to me, it's not the only and final ultimate piece of learning or fulfillment and purpose in my life. I'm sure there's more things out there that make me happy and fulfilled. We just have to find them. And I'm sure that if I keep learning, if we all keep pursuing lifelong learning, we will all find more things that make us happy and fulfilled. We just have to keep studying. We just have to keep learning. We just have to keep pursuing lifelong learning. I want everyone here to pursue lifelong learning, to continue to learn and to continue to find more things about themselves that make them fulfilled and happy, and to reach their self-actualization. And I hope that everyone here can find their purpose, find their happiness, and find their fulfillment, just like I'm looking for mine right now. Thank you.